So, oh, now you're using the braille. What are you going to demonstrate?
I'm going to show you a background. So, for this card, I'm going to start with my background.
Now, this is what I like. See, I was talking to you about that rainbow effect. That's brilliant.
There we go. So my background doesn't need to be too perfect.
Okay.
So I'm not worrying too much about braying so it looks perfect. Let's just get that to dry a moment.
How long does that take to dry? Just seconds, really?
It's on a glossy card, so it's still a little bit wet there.
Okay.
So we can give it a blast with the heat gun if we want. So in the meantime, I'm going to use my marble background. Now, I mount mine on the Do Mount. It makes it much easier because they just automatically stick to your acrylic block.
Yes, yes.
And you've got the cushioning, which really helps. But no, not everyone likes that, and they just use a low-tack adhesive, just put the rubber straight onto a block. So, I'm just going to ink.
Lovely. I'm with you so far. Following so far.
Just a black ink. And I'm going to choose, I'm going to stamp across so I get a variety of colours.
Oh,
there
wow.
We go.
Oh, I like that. Can we just... I'm just going to hold this up just to point it directly to people at home. Look at that. And can you just remind us what sort of card you're using? Is it like a photo card?
It is. It's just a glossy, shiny surface.
Wow.
So that ink looks really bright and glossy.
And you've got the satisfaction knowing that you created that yourself. And can you just remind us again, with the big and juicy pad, did you use the spice or did you use the floral, the foliage?
I used a slightly different one there.
Okay, that's okay. That's okay.
Different.
We've got a whole range on the website. Remember, we've got the foliage and we've got the spice available today. Right. Okay.
Okay. So I'm going to set that aside just to dry.
Perfect.
And what I'm going to do for the front of my card, I've got a little tile here. It's a little paper tile, and I'm using the Three Sisters stamp here.
Brilliant. And the Three Sisters stamp is included in the second one, which is your Potpourri 2. If you go for the multi-buy, you've got it anyway, but if you're going for the separate item, which is your Potpourri 2, that's where you'll see that image. Oh, wow.
There we go. Just stamp that out.
So what is a tile? What's that made out of?
This is actually made of recycled wooden cardboard, and it's pressed into a board, and this has got paper across both sides.
Great.
So if you make a mistake, you can use the other side,
wicked.
or you can use it for jewellery.
Lovely.
Now, so if that's dried enough, I'm just going to use my Pro markers.
Now, which ones are you using? Are you using the ones from
I've got the skin tones here at the moment.
Okay. And I will say, if you want to go for skin tones, we did sell out, so we've sold, but we've got the skin accents. We will get them back. We're finding that these Pro markers are incredibly popular here at Create and Craft, but for you, what do you find the difference? Because I was in the call centre recently and a lady was asking me the main difference between skin tones and skin accents in the Pro markers. What do you find is the main difference? Is there an answer?
There is. You need the skin...
I wish I had you with me in the call centre.
The skin tones, for me, they're your basic colours.
Yes.
The skin accents
Is that your cheeks?
It is. It's for those highlighted. They're the brighter colours that work with the others.
No, I was very honest with this woman in the call centre, because when she phoned in, I said, I think the skin tones is for your basic colour, your background colour, and then I said, I think the skin accents is if you want cheeks and if you want the highlight. Exactly. And I said, I'm not saying it's definite, but I said, that's the impression I get. Well, thank goodness I was right.
Well, when you start, you've got a few colours in the skin tones.
Yes.
So what I'm using, just from the skin tones, I've already used 2 shades. I think the blush and satin to create the darker effect around the faces.
Okay.
And then I'm going to come back in with the palest, which is, I think, ivory.
Okay.
And that will fill in so that you can actually see the shaded effect.
Lovely.
And just blend those colours.
And it gives you dimension and depth. You really do colour well there by creating that shadowing effect.
Oh, my ink wasn't totally dry. So
that's okay. It all adds to it. Lovely.
Okay, so there's my basic.
Oh, very good shots today. Who have we got on camera now? Ah, it's Ollie, see. See, we really have got the A-team today.
Okay, then I just need to go in and add some colours from some of the other sets.
Okay.
So I've got one here. So just using some of the pastel tones in there.
Brilliant. Now we've got pastels. We've got pastels on today's show. And we've also got the brights as well, so if you want to colour in like this, we've got the pastels and the brights and the Pro markers. Just ask them in the call centre for the details and on the website.
So okay, what I'm going to do here is, because it's just matte at the moment, so what I want to do is give it a nice bit of gloss.
And what's that you're using there?
This is an embossing ink. I'm just tapping it
Lovely.
all the way over to get a good covering on there. And this is Amazing Glaze. It's a thick embossing powder.
Okay. Oh,
just grab my heat gun there.
Lovely.
So I'm just going to put a few layers on here to build up so it looks really nice and glossy.
I love embossing. The first time I saw this, I was speechless. I couldn't believe how easy it was to totally transform the look of your work. And it only takes seconds, just a matter of seconds, a little bit of heat. Don't try using a hairdryer. It's a different implement. This is a very specific heat tool that we're using here. Now look at that.
There we go. Now this is my first layer, so it looks kind of beady.
Uh-huh.
Which does look quite nice with these if you want a bit of an aged
beady
effect.
eyes.
Yes. Okay, now while that's still warm,
okay.
I'm just going to throw some more powder on.
Oh wow, so you can build up the layers.
Exactly. So while it's warm, the powder will stick into the warm liquid as well. So I'll just melt that and it'll start to get smoother.
Lovely.
Just tip this back.
No waste. Do you know, I'm mesmerised by this, absolutely mesmerised. Getting busier and busier on the phone lines. If you're going for the set of 5 stamps, it's £35.94 if you're a member of the Creative Craft Club. If you're taking advantage of FlexiPay, you've got 2 flexible payments of £17.97.
There we go. That's
Lovely.
our last layer, third layer here. It should be nice and shiny and smooth.
Just like polishing your boots, you can build up the layers. That reminds me, I've got a couple of pairs of shoes I've got to polish when I get home. Now, this really does transform the look. It looks like enamel. You've transformed a piece of card
yes.
with stamping and with your pro markers, and then with this enamel, the Amazing Glaze.
There we go.
It's totally transformed that look.
Okay, so that's really quite hot at the moment.
And so you do need to take care, and it's worth pointing that out, because the last thing you
Yes.
want to do is pick it up when it's scorching hot.
Yeah, when you're picking it up to put more powder on, that is quite warm and you do need to be careful.
Take care, yes.
Sometimes I will use tweezers.
I was going to say, if in doubt, use a tool to hold it.
Yeah, once your fingers get used to it, it depends what you're used to. If you do lots of cooking and you're used to those oven trays,
yes,
this isn't too bad.
Brilliant. Right, we're going to crack on.
Okay, so now what I've done is that background that we made earlier. What I've done is I've just trimmed that down to the size of the actual image and layered that up. On the spare pieces, I've just stamped the little flowers that come in the Daydream set.
Lovely,
and just
superb.
cut those out. So if this is cooled down enough.
Okay.
Yep, that's cooled down. All I need on there is squidge them a little bit of...
Oh no, is that your pin flare glue gel?
Yeah, I've got some double-sided
So many
tape.
people are using pin flare glue gel on all the shows today.
It is so strong.
It's
really
available
good.
on the website. It's clear. It doesn't have a pungent aroma, and it's very easy to use.
Ooh, there we go.
Lovely.
And there we go. Oops,
Superb.
stand that up.
Now, let me just hold that there. Isn't that absolutely beautiful? I think it's very, very classy.